27-year-old man accused of setting his girlfriend alight in her flat in the Joburg CBD expected to appear in the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court today. Viwe Dalingozi died from extensive burn injuries on Sunday. Her boyfriend was arrested in his hometown of Mokopane in Limpopo on Tuesday night. Well, ENCA's Slendelo Masakane following that case for us this morning. Slee, a very good morning to you. What details do we know about this horrific crime? I mean, and like we say, it comes on a day where gender-based violence is going to be in the spotlight at a summit.
Certainly, the irony that we have this gender-based violence summit convening this morning, and we've already have a number of cases in the media around the issue of femicide as well as violence against women and children. Now, the case of Viwe Dalingozi is quite a sad one, and one that is not foreign to the situation in South Africa. The statistics around gender-based violence and intimate crime are quite high, and in fact they've risen quite a lot following the release of the Statistics South Africa figures this past June, showing that the violence against women and children is on the rise. Now, what we know is that last week Friday, Viwe Dalingozi and the suspect were allegedly hanging out with friends, and it's said that the boyfriend wanted to go home, but Viwe was still having a good time and wanted to stay for a bit longer, and this is when the suspect allegedly went to then go buy petrol, and while Viwe was asleep in her flat, he doused her with that petrol and set her alight. She was then rushed to the Charlotte Maxeke Hospital, but unfortunately succumbed to her injuries on Sunday. Now, what we also know is that she did manage to run down the stairs and escape the fire in her flat, and managed to speak to one of her neighbors who made a call to her family in the Eastern Cape, because she's here working, but most of her family's in the Eastern Cape, and she spoke to her uncle and told him about what happened, and those is just one of the last conversations she had with her family, where she informed them that she's been hurt and that she could possibly die. Now, what we know following that is that the suspect went on the run. He disappeared, and through the help of the community and in fact the employer as well of the deceased, the suspect was then found in his hometown of Mokopane in Limpopo. And what we know is that during that arrest, what the police noticed were also minor burn wounds on the suspect's arms as well as on his legs.
Slee, and I know that he's yet to appear in court, but have we heard anything? Do we know anything about whether there was a history of violence in this relationship?
We have spoken to the police at the Central Police Station here in Johannesburg, which is handling the matter. And what we know is that this suspect has actually been arrested before. In 2012, in fact, he was arrested for malicious damage to property. And in that particular matter, it was alleged that he had set his former lover's girlfriend's car on fire. He had damaged that car as well. But that case was withdrawn. We have to stress that point as well. But there seems to be a history prior to this arrest of this particular suspect being arrested around issues of violence, not only towards his former lover, but damaging property. And we see that in this particular case of Viwe Dalingozi, this suspect has been charged with murder as well as arson.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks very much, Slendelo Masakane. She'll be following that case for us when the suspect does appear in court. And like we said, partner, this comes ironically with this case going to court on a day that the subject, gender-based violence, actually is going to be the main topic of a summit.
Yeah,